Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Last year's videos were kind of a mess. It's 2020, I'm here, I'm feeling it, and I'm here to do a Panel's Eyeshadows challenge project. I did it last year off camera for about 2 or 3 months, and I hit 3 pans, which was really exciting. And then I did it on camera, but I never posted them. But I made some really good progress on all my shadows, and I'm just having a hard time with my editing software and trying to figure everything out. I feel like this looks good right now. I feel like the lighting is good. It's not too dark, it's not too light, not too yellow. I'm in center, filming things differently, and I'm excited. Okay. I'm really excited, so I'm a little bit rambly, and also I don't know my roommate's coming back. Something else new, I have a different roommate who says she's never going to be here. Unlike my last roommate, who, like me, lived in our room. So it was hard to film, but I love her and I miss her very much, so I'm not like complaining. It was just an obstacle in terms of filming, because there was usually someone else in here, but I think this semester is gonna be a little bit better. So if you don't know what a Panel's Eyeshadows project is, essentially you put all your eyeshadows into a spreadsheet and then randomly pick however many you want. I'm gonna be doing 5, and then you use them until you hit pan, which is the bottom of the container that the eyeshadow is in, which is very exciting for me because I have, I think, 5 pans in my entire collection, and I have a lot of eyeshadows, and it's a little ridiculous. When I went home for winter break, I split up half of my makeup between my dorm and my home. So I have like a third of what I actually have here, and I feel like that's gonna make things in terms of project panning and just like eyeshadow panning a lot easier. I kept my favorites, so I got the cream of the crop here for you guys, and yeah. My favorite things are here. I have about 12 palettes and maybe like 10 singles, maybe a little bit more than that because I have some singles and a Z palette, but I consider that a palette. So I'm rambling, I'm sorry. I have 166 eyeshadows here, which some of my palettes have eyeshadows with pan in them, and then some of them also have glitters, like pressed Colourpop glitters. I will not be using those. I don't like them. They scare me. So we're not using those. So I took them out of the spreadsheet. So I'm going to open my spreadsheet and we're gonna start picking. So I'm sorry if I'm like looking over here. This is where my computer is, and that is how we're doing this. So my apologies. I'm not gonna show you. My laptop's pretty big, and I'm not gonna lift it up and show you everyone. Just trust me. I will be, of course, picking the palette, swatching on my hand, and such, but I'm not going to actually be showing you. It's just too much of a hassle. So some rules that I have, for the majority of them, if I roll one in, I'm gonna hit pan, then roll it out. But I am gonna have a new rule because I was having a lot of trouble last year. If I roll in a color like black, absolutely not gonna try to hit pan on it because I know that I have a couple matte blacks and a sparkly black. Not even gonna try. If there is a shade that I'm using over and over and over and over, and I've used it so much and I'm still not even seeing progress, or if I'm just so sick of it after a good couple months, or if I want to declutter the palette or like whatever, 30 uses, then I will allow myself to roll in something different. I want to challenge myself, but I don't want to make this feel like a chore or like I'm forcing myself to do this. I want it to be fun. The point is to have fun and to use my makeup more and be more creative. So I'm not going to try to force myself to use something that I don't think I'm going to use. But if I hit pan, great. If I don't, and I decide that I just don't care anymore about hitting pan, I'm going to stop after 30. But I feel like 30 uses is a good enough amount of time to figure out how I feel about the product and whether or not I want to keep it, whether or not I just hate it. And again, if it's a crazy color like black or just like something that I normally wouldn't wear, I'm not gonna try to hit pan. But I would like to make as much progress in my pans in eyeshadows as possible. I want to do a pan percentage kind of thing, and I would love to challenge myself like that, but again, majority of my eyeshadows are at home. So I feel like that's not fair, because 5 out of 166, like, yeah, I have that percentage now, but I go home in May and now I have like 1% of my eyeshadows. I feel like that would just suck. Another small rule, when I go home and all of my makeup is in one spot, I will let myself roll in from the other stuff. I don't want to just keep it in my vanity and never touch it. So for now I'm only using this stuff, but when I go home I will go through those as well, and I'll, you know, incorporate those. And then when I move into my next dorm in the fall, I'll just bring whatever is in that round with me, and decide how I feel about all of my palettes once I'm using them a little bit more. But I feel like I've been talking forever, and this is the intro video, so there's a lot of talking, so I'm sorry about that. But let's get into it. I'm so excited. Okay, so I have numbers 1 through 166 here, and the first one is 22. Okay, so number 22 is from my Sweet Talk palette, and it's the shade Melody. Alright, so this is my Sweet Talk palette. It's by Colourpop. I really like this palette. This is the inside of it. It's very reflective, so I'm sorry about that, but it's really pretty. And I got this shade by my thumb, Melody. So I'm gonna swatch it for you guys. I'm really excited. I really love this palette, and it is like mid-January, so I'm really excited to be pulling some bright colors already. And it is like a peachy corally kind of palette. Ooh, that's really pretty. Okay, I have a really bright yellow light over here, but it's a very pretty like peach, and then it has a really intense gold kind of flip to it, or like shimmer. So like the base pigment is just like peachy, and then it's very, very golden. I'm sorry if you guys can't see it very well. My lighting, I'm trying really hard with the lighting and it's just not working. But, so this is the first shade, Melody. And something else I just want to say, I'm not just trying to hit pan on these 5 eyeshadows. I also want to utilize the whole palette more, because I tend to use my favorites and nothing else. So I'm obviously going to try to hit pan in this, but I'm also going to try to use everything in here more, just as like a little preface, so when I'm like, guys, bonus pan. Okay, next number is 90. Alright, number 90 is from my Perception palette, and it's called Spill the Tea. So this is my Shayla and Colourpop Perception palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. I bought this palette a year ago, like literally as an early Christmas present to myself. Sorry about the lighting again. This is what it looks like. And I used it twice, and those 2 times have been in the past month. I was gonna declutter it, and then I used it, and I fell in love with it. So the shade Spill the Tea is actually the shade that I used when I used this, which I think is exciting. And I'll show you in the palette. It's, sorry about that, it's this shade, right? Yeah, it's this really pretty kind of rosy gold sort of shade. I mean, it's definitely more pinky toned, but this is what it looks like on my finger, and then right here. So it's kind of similar to this, but more pink rather than peach. This one's a little bit more corally, and then I have Spill the Tea, Melody. I think these two go really well together. I can mix them, layer them, whatever. This is exciting so far. I do hope that I get some mattes, though. I don't really want more than 2 or 3 shimmers, since I mainly use matte eyeshadows, but we will see. So my third number is number 11, and that is from my Salvaje palette, and it's the shade Caramelo, which is really exciting because I use this one all the time. So this is my Salvaje palette. Once again, Colourpop. Majority of my eyeshadows that I have here are Colourpop because they're my favorite. So this is the inside. Oh boy, I almost dropped it. And this is the shade Caramelo. It's Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, and I also say caramel, not caramel. So, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. I love this palette dearly. I use this shade so much. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a good dip in it. And I pretty much every time I do my blue looks, I use these two. And I also use this one a lot. So this shade is very exciting. It's just a really basic, like milk chocolate brown kind of shade. It's a really good transition. It's really good to build up the crease a little bit, depending on how dark you want to go, and it's like one of my favorite transition shades. So again, I think we're working things out really well. Fourth number is 159. 159 is actually from my Whatever palette, and it's the shade Bad Guy. Oh, okay. So once again, Colourpop. I used this palette once. I bought it in, I don't know, November, October, whenever it came out. I like it. It's beautiful. It's really pretty. But so the shade Bad Guy, this doesn't have a mirror, but this is the shade Bad Guy. It's like a really nice kind of burgundy wine shade. Once again, I feel like will work really well with these shades. Probably more so this one, but I digress. I think it'll still work really, really well. And the shimmers are like really shimmery. So that is what that looks like now. And our last number is number 106. Okay, it's from the It's My Pleasure palette, and it's the shade Bare Minimum. I also love this palette. Ooh. This one's exciting. It's My Pleasure palette. Reflective and dirty. Wonderful. So this is the shade Bare Minimum. It's this very, very pretty violet purple. It's like a much more magenta-y toned purple. It is a shimmer. It's really, really pretty. That's it at the bottom. We have a lot of shimmers, which is fine. Okay, so I got the tiniest bit interrupted, so I'm sorry if I'm in a slightly different spot, but this is the shade Bare Minimum from the It's My Pleasure palette. It doesn't really go with this, but that's okay. I'll make it work. I'm gonna do some purpley pink shades this month. Very excited. It's a really pretty shimmer. I just don't know how I feel about having so many shimmers. It'll be fine. I have written them all down on a little, what is this? A card, an index card. Words are hard, huh? And I'm just gonna mark how many uses I have with all of them. And yeah, I figured this is gonna be better doing it on an index card every month than putting it in a notebook, because things just get all weirdly spaced, and I don't like doing it in my notebook. But I should be able to hit pan on all of these. I don't think I'm gonna get like ridiculously sick of any of them. Maybe the purple, but that's okay. So yeah, I think that's all. I don't know when I'm going to be doing updates. It is currently the middle of January because I've been home, and today's my first day back in my dorm. But I feel like the first update will be in 6 weeks, and then depending on how that works, every 6 weeks from now, I guess, or every month, 2 months. I don't know. I feel like it depends on how much progress I have, because if I'm barely wearing any makeup, I don't want to do an update that has nothing for you guys, and it's gonna be a waste of your time, waste of my time, if there's nothing really to update you guys on. So maybe every month, maybe every 2 months, I don't know, but I'm gonna try to upload in the beginning of March for my first update, because that'll be about 6 weeks, and I think that'll be a good time. But keeping track of those dates is just gonna be too much for me, so I don't know about that one. But again, these are all of the shades. I'm very excited. I think I'm actually gonna go put on some makeup now, and thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for all of my updates.